there are two films that I've seen recently, two documentaries, that have touched me in ways that really sort of almost frighten and frustrate me. One was Inside Job, which was about the economic meltdown of 2008, and the other one was Shadows of Liberty. And Inside Job, as I said last night, made me nauseous, but Shadows of Liberty made me cry. And the reason it made me cry is that I've lived it. So I know it from a very personal perspective, having lost my job, having been told what not to talk about. But I did it on a micro level, you know. And this was to watch it happen at CBS and Viacom and Rupert Murdoch, and to see what they've done at a national and international level to sort of change or filter the news and make it unavailable to us. I knew it. I could have helped write this script. But I'm tired of seeing it anymore. And I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, how do we convey to people what they're not getting? And how do we get them angry enough to say, it's our information, it's our facts, it's our world, we have a right to know. Because how in a democracy can you make an informed decision when you don't know the facts? It undermines the whole concept of democracy.
And how do you think, in your view, we can use the film in order to help us out along that journey that you just described?
You know, nobody reads papers anymore. Nobody votes anymore. Our biggest challenge is apathy. Our biggest challenge. And the question then becomes, how do we find the venue where the converted isn't watching it? How do we find the venue where the guy that drives the taxi, or the person that, you know, cleans the streets, or even the banker gets to see it? Because you don't have to be a Republican or a Democrat. You don't have to be a conservative or liberal, because it's about all of us. And so what your film talks about is about what's happening to us as a community. And then the biggest challenge is, how do we find a venue where people can see it and then have the conversation? Because you don't want to watch this movie in isolation. You can't watch it on your couch. You really can't watch it in front of the television set. Yeah, you can, but what was so wonderful about last night is that we need each other. And what the film is so important for is that it sort of tells a story we're kind of aware of, but it puts it out in a very sort of methodical, it's like reading a book, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and it leaves you frustrated, but it also makes you realize that you have a responsibility to take some action, because clearly they won't. And so I guess the challenge for all of us is, how do we bring people that would never see it into a room with us to see it? I'm a former politician, and people say, what can I do for you, Arnie? And I'd always say, never vote alone. Bring 10 friends with you. And I think this is the kind of movie where you never go alone. Take 10 friends with you. And that's really how the story gets out, because we have to share the knowledge, and then we have to have the conversation.